Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
Well, everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is the Christmas season, is it not? And yes, my voice is jacked up. So, for the show, I've got another delicious hot toddy made, and you folks are buying scotches tonight. A $50 super chat donation, 50 or more, buys, well, one bullet level scotch. And I've already got one lined up, so let's see where this takes us. We have one heck of a show, folks. We got one heck of a year we're rounding out. Shit hit the fan in 2020, and it's been getting steadily worse. It's not an event. It's a series of events that are taking us down the path to shit it's the fanville. And we're getting there, folks. I don't know what to tell you. We got Ooman in the house running things as the moderator, the guide behind the scenes, making sure everyone behaves. If you've got something to say, though, I want to hear it. This is your chance to run the show, to bring up the topics. I'll make you famous. Hit that super chat button right up there. Make a donation and you will get your question up. We have people lined up already in the background just waiting to go, but you can get in there too. And we'll go somewhere around 2 hours unless my voice gives out. And for some reason, it's not getting much better these days, but I'm dedicated to the show and I'm dedicated to America. And I tell you what, I thought this was a joke. I'm going to start out with one of my stories, and then we'll get into Chin Music's super chat, question, comments, etc., etc. So I thought this was a joke. I thought this was a joke, folks, for the Christmas season. I thought someone was making some sort of racist joke. There's a movie coming out. It's called The American Society of Magical Negroes. I ain't shitting you. And guess what? This movie called The American Society of Magical Negroes was produced and created and directed and written and starring black folks. It's not a racist parody. It's nothing of the sort. In fact, it's kind of, well, I think it might just be racist because it's actually it actually talks and thinks about white people in a derogatory manner. They say in the movie, in the trailer, in the commercials, whatever, that white people are, quote, most dangerous animal on the planet, end quote. And so the purpose behind the American Society of Magical Negroes is these magical Negroes wake up every day and their job is to keep white people happy. White people need to be kept happy because when white people aren't happy, they do bad things to black people. And I just thought, it's the premise I know is racist. The concepts behind it I know are racist, but it's making me fucking laugh. I don't know what you guys think. I remember there was some sort of comment about Barack Obama being a magical Negro. So this has something to do with fears, thoughts, belief systems that some Americans have about others. I never believed it was my duty to keep anyone else happy, be they black, white, Asian, Oriental, Aboriginal, Native, or otherwise. I didn't think it was my job to make anyone happy. I thought it was my job to make sure America was kept a free place. But still, what do you guys think of the American Society of Magical Negroes? Good golly, they just can't. They can't do it. They can't let it alone. Everything is designed to make us think racist thoughts. It's unfucking believable. I tell you what, it is December 17th, 2023, and we're going to kick the show off with Darcy T. And Darcy T has done a $250 super chat donation. One of the biggest super chat donations ever. Thank you, Darcy T. And she says, Merry Christmas, John. To you and your family, salute. Darcy, Glenfiddich, 18-year, right here. I did not expect this. And I'm honored and thrilled that we'll make Christmas a better season around here at the Prepared Mind Bunker. Salut, Prost, cheers, Semper Fi, God bless America. Ooh. You notice how that makes my voice so much smoother? Whew. Woo! Like mother's milk, that is. Anyways, Darcy T, thank you. That is a big surprise. I didn't know that was sitting in there. But Jolene just popped it in as a big Christmas surprise. I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. We do the Sunday broadcast every week because I want you guys to know how important you are in participating. You make the show happen. Without you, the show doesn't work. Without you, it's just me talking to a camera and a microphone, and that's it. Because of you, we're spreading the word about freedom, liberty, our Constitution, about what the importance, why decency is so important, why morality is important, why the law is important, why equality is important. And we're going to get into all these things today on Sunday Night Live, right here, right now. We've got so much to talk about. Ooman is in back. I want to bring him on just for a quick second, just to say hi to everyone, let you know that he's in the mobile command center. Mr. Ooman, Merry Christmas to you.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you again, Ooman, for all you do for all of us.
Oh, hey, it's my small part to play. You're doing all the heavy lifting, man.
Thank you so much for what you do. If I start losing the voice, I'll call on you to help out.
We've got plenty of lubrication lined up, I understand.
Oh boy, very nice. Uh-oh. That sounds scary. Thanks, Ooman. Okay, now we're going to flip on over to Chin Music, and he has done a $53.08, so a 5308 super chat donation. Again, you got the button up here, and then down here you've got Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. So once again, the bottle of scotch makes an appearance. Going to fill up the shot glass, and this is by the way, a 308 sitting in there. That is one hell of a shot glass to stop a bullet with that kind of power. Anyways, Chin Music, here's to you, brother. I hope everything goes well in a world where nothing seems to be going well down south. Merry Christmas to you, your family, and all your loved ones. And same to you, the rest of everyone else as well. Because I know everyone out there is looking forward to better times. And we've got one hell of a swamp, desert, jungle, and mountain range to hike through, over, under, and around to get to good times. Woo! That'll wake you up. Chin Music says this. He's got something to say. He says, John, not sure if you saw Vaughn's video from the border, but it is exactly what is happening here. He talks about the mad dog look in the eyes of the migrant men from China and the Middle East. I saw exactly that at the migrant center here in San Antonio with my own two eyes. I know that look, and so do you. Until we get rid of the tiny-shouldered girl puncher Mayorkas, and stop allowing Washington, D.C. to be a fugitive from accountability, it's 2 scoops of SHTF as far as the eye can see. Bah humbug and fuck Joe Biden. I tell you, Chin Music, I know what it is. I know what you're talking about. I've seen it many, many times. Folks, mad dog. When someone mad dogs you, it means they're looking at you like they're trying to let you know they're crazy. They're going to kill you. They're not afraid of you. Ah, mad dog. I mad dogged a lot of people, folks. It's because you're ready to fucking fist fight or fuck. And since there's no women around, you know which one it's going to be. It's going to be ugly. These people are coming here, folks. I'll tell you what, when you get a look at Vaughn, backcountry prep, he's not someone you want to readily mad dog. In fact, next to mad dog in the dictionary is a picture of Vaughn. But that's the look these people have. They're not here to work hard. They're not here to swear allegiance to the Constitution in our country. They're here to take. They're here to hurt. And that's what we have. Folks, we got a bunch of ungrateful people coming here, and they're also unaccountable. And yeah, Mayorkas, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, is doing all he can to make our country all the weaker. And it is frustrating. It is maddening. And what do we have besides Joe Biden and his, I don't know how we say it, all of his miscreants in the bureaucracy? We have Congress, which has a House and a Senate. Now, you would think that we would have some real Republicans in there that love this country. But instead, we have someone like Senator Lighten the Loafers, Lindsey Graham, neocon wuss. Oh, he's a member of the Republican Party, folks, but he's a rhino. And he's suggesting, he is verbalizing that there's a lack of evidence against Joe Biden's corruption. Now, I think monkeypox is affecting his thought processes. What a lying sack of shit he is. But that's who we have in Washington, folks. Washington. I wonder how many of the butt pirate games Lindsey Graham plays with all of these Senate and Congress aides. What an appropriate term for these people who are having playing butt darts in Senate chambers. I don't know if you follow this. It's quite a big deal. I'll touch on it here and there in the news as we go through tonight's program before we kick off into the week before Christmas. But literally, folks, Washington, D.C. is a cesspool of perverted freaks. And Lindsey Graham looks like the guy who fits right in. And he can't see Joe Biden's corruption. He can't see his crimes. He can't see anything. Well, I think he may have gotten 1 or 2 shots in the eye if he can't see it. We have nothing but trouble coming. I tell you, nothing but trouble. Absolute mess is what we've got, folks. Okay, let us continue if we shall. Mr. Uman, I'm pretty sure you may have a topic right there. Bam! Soft Kitty, number 9, with a $50 super chat donation. To keep me medicated. Cheers. I'm in trouble. I was already drinking the hot toddies, trying to rehab the voice. But Soft Kitty, we're putting a hurt on this bottle of Glenfiddich 18. And I've got to tell you, folks, Glenfiddich, there's just a few good things in life. Just a few good things in life. And good friends and good scotch. Those are a couple of them. Cheers, Semper Fi, Prost. Woo! And Merry Christmas. I tell you what, that is the medicine of the gods. Okay, Soft Kitty, thank you. And if you, I can feel that one kicking. If you've got a comment or question, get it on up there. Something you want to talk about, an observation, let Ooman know. We'll get you back on the board. And Chin Music. No, the $9.99 super chat donation. Chin says, Lindsay is on the client list. How else could he get laid? Fuck, I tell you. I don't understand a thing about the world of homosexuality when it comes to what qualifies as something that you want. I can't say. I literally can't, Chin. I'd love to answer that question just from an academic standpoint, but I don't know how that sack of lying shit can make it from wherever he lives to Congress without getting hit by a car. I don't wish death on anyone, folks. In fact, you know what? With the exception of people who are taking the lives of others directly, I think others that are bad people, and I consider Lindsey Graham a bad person. I don't want him dead. I want him to live a long, long, long time after being exposed for what he is, so that he has to deal with it and think about it for years, decades. Anyone I don't like, folks, unless they're a violent, murderous sack of shit or in power, I don't want them dead. I just want them alive so they can live with who they are and learn from it. Now, be that as it may, what an asshole Lindsey Graham is. The client list, yeah. I'm sure that's how that shit works. Thank you much again, sir. Wow. Here we go. And speaking of people, the United States military faces the upcoming year, 2024, with the smallest size of American enlisting and the lowest mental qualification level in 80 years, folks. 80 years. What was 80 years ago? It was World War II. World War II. Now, the Pentagon has issued a call to service, a national call to service. They want young Americans to come and join the military. Folks, leadership matters, and that's the point of this. Leadership matters, and Democrats can all go to hell. What they've done to the military by bringing in communist officers, oh yeah, they're there, by chasing out good men and women who are constitutional officers who swore an oath to the Bible, not a stack of child porn like Democrats do. Real officers, real leadership. Right? You can blame Biden, you can blame Obama for what they've done to the military. That's why young men and women don't want to join. It used to be big, strapping, real men. Right now they realize all they are is cannon fodder for these ridiculous assholes like Lindsey Graham and Joe Biden. They don't want to join. Why serve a master who is so evil, right, that it cannot be ignored? It cannot be misunderstood as just that, evil. Good golly, yeah. Oh, yeah, Lindsey Graham, right? I think he was in the Air Force. Now, I don't normally pick on the other branches of service, but I'm sure what Lindsey did in there was clean the pipes of other men. I think that's probably what he was best at. All righty, Mr. Ooman, it is Sunday Night Live, and we have William Hallman with a 556 super chat donation. And I love a 556, folks. In fact, I think for Christmas, I'm going to take out my civilian M4. It's an AR-15. And I'm going to put a couple of rounds through it, make sure the old trigger finger works, make sure the old eyes work, sight alignment, sight picture, clear front sight tip, squeeze the trigger, send a round downrange. So William Hallman says, hey, John, did you hear about the English Premier League player that went into cardiac arrest on Saturday? Well, let's do it. Yes, I did. In fact, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad you brought it up so we didn't miss it. That's right. English Premier League player, a professional football player, aka soccer. Unbelievable, huh? I guess it's still going. Still going. 29-year-old professional player collapses without contact. Meaning he didn't get run into, he didn't do anything crazy. He's just running around the field playing soccer. Collapsed without contact. Live on TV. The match was suspended. Now, thankfully, he survived. But I guess his lungs gave out. His heart gave out. His body gave out. Maybe he's got too many clots in his brain. Very scary business, folks, as these people continue to push the Jim Jones juice on all of us. It is incredible, folks. They will not quit. They won't. William, thank you very much for bringing that up. I did not want to forget about it. Now, there's another article out there having to do with the medical world. Now, they're saying that in order for the public to trust the public health agencies, there needs to be a return to science, not special interests. And I thought, it's going to take a lot more than that. Are you kidding me? After the massive lies, deceptions, demands, shutdown, lockdown, and basic screwing of all America and the world, how can any of us in America or anywhere trust government, scientists, and the medical world? Now, if they do not apologize and say, we're sorry we lied to you, not we're sorry we didn't get it right, or we did our very best with imperfect information, bullshit. They need to come clean and say, we're sorry we fucked you over and we screwed you. If they don't apologize, they're not being honest with us. I don't want some kind of bullshit apology and blaming someone else. Science and medicine and the government need to apologize for what they did to us intentionally. And if they do apologize, they are honestly telling us that they deceived us and they terrorized us and the world. Adults, children, everyone. You see, that's where they're in trouble. They don't want to have to admit it. They can't admit it. To admit it is admitting to an incredible hoax. The Jim Jones juice, the cerveza bug madness, telling us that bodies are stacking up in the morgue, that there's not enough room, that there's now new man-made global pollution because they're burning so many bodies. You remember that shit? There's not enough room, so they're stacking bodies in hospital rooms. Yeah, it's 70 degrees. Bodies inside body bags aren't going to swell up like frickin' hot air balloons. Miniature Zeppelins, my ass. That place would smell in a matter of days like you do not want to imagine. That's why they keep bodies in refrigeration. Now, in addition to the massive lies that they need to apologize for, we have the Jim Jones juice death count. They lied about it being safe. They lied about it being effective. They tell us we have to take an experimental, life-changing DNA destroyer, or you don't get to shop, go to school, have a job, go on vacation, have a bank account, live your life. Right? Unbelievable. Man, give me 5 minutes. Back to this, right? They want us to trust science again. They're still lying to us about fucking climate change on top of go get your booster. Fuck government, fuck science, and fuck government doctors. I find it very hard, very difficult, period, to believe anyone who says they're a doctor. Why should I, unless I know them personally? Oh, crap. I'm getting all kinds of good news out there. So here we are. Here we are. They're still lying to us, but they want us to forgive them. I tell you what, there's a long way between forgive and forget. And it won't even begin to start until these bastards come clean, period, and repent and tell us that they lied to us and they did it on purpose. Otherwise, why should we believe a damn word they say? Seriously, I would rather have them admit it the way a criminal does in court. Now imagine this. A man kills another man and he stands in front of the judge and he pleads guilty, right? He comes clean. He admits his guilt. He admits he has murdered someone. It happens every day in America, every day around the world. People admit to their crimes. Yes, I robbed the bank. Yes, I murdered that person. Yes, I stole a bunch of money. I mean, a lot of people say not guilty and they go to trial because either they're not guilty or they think they can beat the rap. But a lot of people raise their hand and say, yeah, I did it. Sometimes they're sorry. Sometimes they're not. But in the world of politics, these fucking liars won't admit guilt. They need to start. I tell you what, we're going to have a little bit of discussion about someone who needs to admit their guilt. I'm going to set it. I'm going to get it all set up here, folks. Has to do with one of my favorite people. Hell, I don't know where the fuck it is. Anyways, share that internet address right up there. We're at 300 people live right now. We are half an hour into the show. We've got another hour and a half, or as long as this voice holds up. Depends on how well we keep it lubricated, medicated, and keep me fucking going. I tell you, it's just been a wild weekend, folks. There's a lot of shit I can't even share with you, but wow. Now, people, these politicians think they're going to hide. They think they're going to hide. Well, leftist, socialist, globalist scumbag Zark Zuckerberg. Guess what? Now, the news covers this in an interesting way. He reportedly is developing a $270 million super bunker underground fortress in Hawaii. I'm going to tell you what, last time I went to Hawaii back in 2018, back when the world was quite different, I knew Mark Zuckerberg owned property in Maui because the locals were already pissed off at him back then because he was using some archaic real estate rules to screw over his neighbors. And you can guess the shade of skin, the tone of their flesh, the people that got screwed by Zuckerberg and his fucking lawyers. You can probably guess that most of them were Hawaiians. And every Hawaiian on Maui knows where Zark Zuckerberg lives and how to block his air supply and do far worse if they feel like they need to. So I'm sure they're saying this every day. Mark Zark muck. Just muck you, Zark Zuckerberg. I tell you what, folks. This guy, he doesn't stand a chance. The Hawaiians, by the way, were some of the most fearsome warriors in the Polynesian Islands. Captain Cook sailed and discovered many of the islands. In fact, the Cook Islands are famously named after him. In the big island of Hawaii, they have a town on the southwest coast called Captain Cook. That's where he came to ground and pissed off the Hawaiians, and they fucking killed him. They still say, last time I was there, they were letting me know that they are still just a couple of generations from being essentially island warriors. And that's still a big part of the culture that you don't see at the resorts. And by the way, I love islanders. I love Hawaiians. They're awesome people. They are truly warriors with giant hearts. And here we are. Okay, yeah. Muck Zark Fuckerberg. I thought that was great. Who else is on Maui screwing things up? Oh, I believe it's, what's her name? Oprah. Yeah. And many others who are screwing up Maui so they can get a hold of it. Enough of that shit. Mr. Uman, what do we got shaking on your end of the world? Oh, shit, we got Penny B with a $67 super chat donation. Good golly. Oh, my goodness. Penny B, $67. Well, if this bottle gets ruined, I'm going to be ruined. I tell you what, Penny B, salut, semper fi, God bless, Merry Christmas. Zuck Fark Muckerberg. I was reading the words, I couldn't even say it. Oh, man. Woo! Okay, Penny B says this. It's been a while. Accept this in good health. And I do. You don't have to take a shot. Oops, too late. Take care of you. Or if you choose to take a shot, salut. Much love to my Prepared Mind family always. Penny, you're in the thoughts and prayers all the time. May the Bulldogs defeat their enemies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Say hello to the family. I hope everyone there is healthy, happy, and safe along that southern border. In fact, I'm going to cover some southern border news just for you, Penny. Border Patrol officers, get this, found $10 million worth of meth and cocaine. Now, how did they find it? They were smuggling it across the border. Anyone, folks, who's familiar with the Mexican-American border, it is a massive, massive series of corridors, arteries, if you will, transporting goods manufactured in Mexico up into the United States, because that's where American jobs went. Not just to China, but down to Mexico, down to Brazil, down to other countries. And they come right back up to the U.S., put together with cheaper products, cheaper materials, and cheaper labor. So for them the Border Patrol to have found this is quite interesting. So were they hiding it? Cocaine, meth. Were they hiding it in casks of coffee sealed with wax? No. In fact, they were in vats of jalapeno paste. I guess jalapeno paste, folks, is no better than coffee at hiding the scent of cocainum. Unbelievable, folks. You would think that just the presence of the jalapenos would burn the noses of the poor little dogs. And don't you think that the cocaine cartels, don't you think they would get really good dogs, as good as any other dog at sniffing cocaine out, and then test their series? Oh shit, ooh man. Give me 5, brother. You would think that they would test this stuff. They would say, okay, Rover, can you smell it? Okay, we can't use coffee. Okay, Rover, I don't know. I mean, what else would trick a dog? What else could Febreze. Why don't they Febreze the living fuck out of the outside of the container, the vat of cocaine? wash it down, to put it in a watertight, just completely seal this thing, scrub it down, clean it, right? Soap, scent, cover it in smelly cat piss to drive the dogs nuts. You would think, but somehow the dogs are amazing, but wow. Jalapeno is no better, folks. It did not throw the dogs off. Wow. Anyways, it is a wild world. And I'm glad they caught these people. I'm surprised it even made it to the news. I'm surprised they didn't say, oh, put that truck in the lane over there to Mena, Arkansas. We'll have the Clintons take care of that cocaine for us. And go ahead and send the meth to Hunter Biden down that road right that way. You take that stuff that way. Doesn't that sound like our friends in Washington, D.C., the people who are supposed to be in charge of making our country a better place, or at least a safer place, at least some kind of place that we would want to live? Instead, the United States of America is being treated like a sewer. It's a toilet for these radical leftists to just shit all over us. Unbelievable, folks. Unfreaking believable. Where do we go next? Mr. Ooman, I know we're going to have some fun tonight. He told me, he goes, are you ready for another question? Something like that. And I'm like, okay. It is Diorce with a Merry Christmas $50 Super Chat donation. I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak intelligently if we keep up any more of this. So, you guys, I want to tell you that I love you and I think you're great. You're good Americans. We need more people like us, and we have to speak up. We have to speak up to Washington, D.C. and tell them that they're not going to get away with it. Not today, not tomorrow. At some point, they're going to be held accountable. There's two ways. It can be with a parade. We love you. Great job. Or it can be a parade of us marching you into a courtroom and trying you for your crimes. In the meantime, I will have this shot from Diorce. Merry Christmas, Semper Fi, and good golly, here we go. Oh, good God. Mother's milk. There it is. So Diorce with a 50 PMG. And he says, I'm thoroughly testing out all of my propane space heaters in time for Snowpocalypse 2. I guess that's the sequel. He says, I bought 6 indoor rated Mr. Heaters of various sizes. If the power goes out this winter, I'm not going to freeze to death like people did back in 2021. Now, 2022 in Europe, there could have been a lot of popsicles and a lot of Polish sickles and Swiss sickles and Czech sickles, but they had a mild winter after the bombing of the pipeline. Now, when I was in California and I was living in the fifth wheel, I had my Mr. Buddy heater. And I can tell you it saved me a great deal of money in efficiency, very high efficiency. I like the Mr. Buddy radiant heaters, little buddy, big buddy, Mr. Heater Buddy. They are rated for indoor. Make sure when you buy one, if you buy one, on the box, it'll tell you safe for indoor use. They didn't stink. They kept everything warm. And, you didn't lose hot air out the vent. Now, winter is no joke. Winter will kill you. Right? And so I want everyone to be very careful and take it very seriously, as always. Now, I am down here in the deep south. And they consider 50 degrees a chilly day, and they consider 40 downright cold. but it's not that bad down here. Up north, it can kill you. Now, all of these illegal immigrants that they brought into this country, I bet they're sorry sons of bitches now. They're trying to live in tents. In fact, you know what I caught? I caught this news story today. These illegal immigrants up in New York. I thought, oh, they're cold. They're mad. I just read this headline said illegal immigrants are furious. And I thought, oh, it's because they're freezing to death, right? No, it's because the free food they're getting in, they're eating. The free food they're getting at the free hotels they're staying in isn't to their liking. And I thought, you bunch of ungrateful sons of bitches. It is the Christmas season. We should be taking care of our veterans. We should be putting them in hotels, not illegals who chose to come here just to live off of us. It's, you know, get back in the mental time machine. Go back 40 years, right? 40 years. Go back to 1983. Ronald Reagan is president, right? The Democrats, they could not defeat Ronald Reagan. They had nothing to hold on Ronald Reagan. Imagine if Ronald Reagan turned around and said, you know what? We're going to let millions and millions and millions of illegal aliens in this country, and we're going to put them up in all of our hotels. We're going to feed them for free, and you Americans are going to pay for it. Can you imagine the outrage 40 years ago? Now, Democrats today, I don't know if they're fucking retarded or if they're just so partisan, so blind, they wait to see what a politician says before they repeat it. They agree with all of this. They think it's great. I can't see for a fucking split second why this is a good thing. Now, I'm going to take away the idea that Americans are selfish and all we think about is ourselves. These people are coming from other countries, you know, fuck the Middle East and Africa and other countries, just Central and South American countries. Their countries are being abandoned. Families are being torn apart because some members want to come to America for freebies. And those countries are probably also happy to get rid of them. These are unproductive, unskilled people that are a drag on their society. They're sending them north to ruin our country. Just fucking unbelievable, man. Dior's, maybe you should buy as many Mr. Buddy, little buddy Mr. Heaters, just to make sure that these people can't get a hold of them. And Americans can. I tell you, we're going to have to start looking out for us first, folks. America first. I don't think there's any problem with that. In fact, I like Uman's nationalist mentality. Nationalist being one of those. Loving America doesn't make you a racist. It makes you an America lover. It means you care about your family, your friends, your countrymen first. Whew. Wow, I tell you, man. Which camera am I looking at? Mr. Uman. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Diorce. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for looking out and helping everyone that you can. Soft Kitty with a $5 super chat donation says, that new movie, Leave the World Behind and Civil War, is this how they may do a Fantastic Freddy? Any thoughts, John? Well, these are, I know Leave the World Behind, Civil War. These are movies they're kind of dystopian movies. They're let's take a look at who we are, America movies. They are propaganda, folks. First and foremost, they're propaganda. When Obama, that's right, Barack Hussein Barry-Soetoro Obama, when he produces a movie, and when movie producing means gathering a bunch of money to make a movie happen. He's not really doing anything with the movie. But when he produces one, he goes to these people over here and he says, hey, you dumb jackasses with a lot of money over here, we're going to make a movie about racist concepts, about hating America, about hating white people and European people. We want you to give us some money to make that movie. What do you say? And it's unbelievable. They're using Netflix money, by the way. all of you people out there who are giving money to Netflix, something I haven't done since I was married over a dozen years ago. No, 10 years ago. Anyways, the point is, these movies don't make money. They don't. Disney, folks, makes shitty movies that are woke. No one watches them. All these Marvel comics and super blah, 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 no one watches them anymore. They're shit. They're garbage. They're woke. Anything woke, people don't want to watch. Now, what's fascinating, and understand this, what's fascinating is that prior to World War II, the German filmmaker, Uman, who was the minister of propaganda for the Nazi Party. It wasn't Joseph Mengele. Come on, man.
I'm blanking.
Joseph.
You caught me off guard. Now I'm blanking on it.
The minister of propaganda. It'll be in the comment section.
Fish and golf, got it. Himmler.
No. Heinrich Himmler was the head of the SS.
Oh, the Goebbels? Dr. Data got it. I'm trying to keep up with drinking beers as you're doing shots here, so my mind is running a little bit slow. I know you got a higher tolerance than I do.
Merry Christmas, man. Keep drinking, keep smoking, keep enjoying the South.
These guys, You guys out there better start behaving. John's got to work tomorrow.
I do got to work tomorrow. You wouldn't believe the crap I got to deal with tomorrow. And you guys are fucking me up here. Anyways, I love you all. Okay, thanks, man. So Goebbels, back in the 30s, started making films to counter the Western movie culture coming out of Hollywood, Louis B. Mayer, et cetera, that they consider to be the Jewish propagandists of Western culture. But the thing is Joseph Goebbels, minister of propaganda, he was good buddies, folks. I don't know if I can twist my fingers around enough with Hitler. They made movies in Germany that people in Germany wanted to watch. You see, that's the difference between woke today and the fascist movie makers of the 30s. There's no one wanted to watch this woke shit, but the German people would go watch Goebbels' work. And folks, if you watch him, you can just see the nationalist pride and enthusiasm and energy. Of course, they ate that shit up. Why is it that no one wants to watch this woke shit? I find this fascinating from a psychological perspective, soft kitty, right? Leave the world behind. The American Magical Negro, I can't remember the name of that film. Who was going to line up to watch that? It just tells me that while 50% of the country will vote Democrat, way less than 50% of the country gives a fuck about woke culture, woke politics, woke butt plugging, woke anything. Woke racism, they don't give a shit about it. About diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI. I still think they ought to spell it DIE. But you know what? That offers a brilliant segue. That fucking scotch is doing its work, man, I tell you. Woo! Is this a return to logical thinking? Now, once again, Elon Musk. If he does something right, I will congratulate him on it. I do not like his neural implant chip idea. The last thing I want is anyone having access to what I put in here. Now, it's mine. It's called intellectual property. It belongs to me. It's my brain, damn it. But Elon Musk does have some other good thoughts and ideas. In fact, he seems to be coming around more and more to the concept of logical thinking, rational thinking. What do we call that, man? The Germans developed it. Of all people, can you imagine the Germans developing in the 1800s, long before the Nazis, the concept of critical thinking and how to think? So are we having a return to critical and logical thinking? Elon Musk has written that DEI initiatives must DIE. They need to die. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are, quote, just propaganda words, according to Elon Musk. Shaking that one off, man. Ooh, some strong stuff, I tell you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Elon Musk. He is far more popular than these woke fucksticks. Not everyone loves Elon Musk. Not everyone thinks he's the most brilliant man on earth. But still, there's a great deal of respect for Elon Musk and what he's been capable of doing. Remember, he's not an American by birth, but he moved to America. He's helped develop the EV, electric car. While I know it is not possible for every American to have one because of the lack of proper battery technology, battery construction materials, there's not enough of it out there for everyone to have it. I know there's shortcomings with his thinking, but he has had visionary thinking. So people have respect for that. Unlike Disney that says, you know what? Let's get some fat old men and put them in dresses and try and sell Disney merchandise to little girls. Where the fuck did that come from? That, my friends, is diversity, equity, inclusion. It doesn't take a magical Negro to see that that's not going to get us where we need to be. I actually, you know what? I'm going to have to watch that movie. All in favor of me watching the American Society of Magical Negroes, raise your hand. I got to see this. I got to watch it. I wonder how long I can make it. For example, I love the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, his original one from long ago. It's funny as hell. Made fun of everybody. I mean, everybody got made fun of. Jews, blacks, whites, women, men. Randolph and Mortimer Duke. One of the great Christmas movies, by the way, is Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy. You bet. Denholm Elliott, whatever her name is, I can't remember right now. She's a giant liberal, so I'm not going to say her name. Fuck her. Anyways, Coming to America, great movie. I watched that damn movie front to back again and again and again. Coming to America 2, the DEI woke movies, I made it 5 minutes. And that includes the titles and bullshit at the beginning. I think the third or fourth line of dialogue, I turned it off. I couldn't take it. Fuck these people. Anyway, Soft Kitty with a $5 super chat donation. Thank you very, very much. And we're moving on. Sunday Night Live. And we are live tonight. Elon Musk putting it to the left-wingers again. They hate his guts good. Now, if you've got something to say, you're ready to talk. Hit that super chat button. Put your concept up there, your idea, your thoughts, your history, things you believe in, things you don't want to believe in, things you're afraid of. I don't even know what the heck. Anyways, I want to thank you all for buying me the Glenfiddich 18. Woo! I'm feeling alive right now, I tell you. Anyways, I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about right here. What do you want to talk about? This is Christmas, folks. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. Santa Claus. By the way, we're at 350 people live right now. It's Christmas season. We're supposed to enjoy the story about baby Jesus being born in a manger, right? The three wise men come. They bring frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Those are the three kingly gifts. That's the story of the birth of Jesus and how we celebrated Christmas, right? We put up our little plastic things and stuff. And then we've got the Catholic, pagan-inspired Christmas with Yule log and Christmas trees and Santa Claus, who was this magical guy that came from the North Pole and would bring good tidings, presents, technology, whatever the people needed. That's been, of course, turned into a Coca-Cola commercial with polar bears and lots of toys that are stamped from Mattel or Hasbro, right? So Christmas, it's ours. It says children. God loves you. People love you. There's this big fat guy named Santa. He loves you. Everyone, right? It's good. Kids, be good. You can be rewarded with good behavior, good actions, good effort, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's ours. I don't care if the Buddhists don't like it, or the Sikh don't like it, or the Hindi don't like it. I don't care. Why should I? It's American. It's ours. It's our country. It's part of our culture. I couldn't care less if you put a Santa in your yard or a black Santa in your yard or whatever. I don't care. It's Santa Claus. It's American. It's ours. It's what we like. It makes us feel good. It helps us come together. I drive down the street and I see decorations. I see lights and shit. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy American. But in Toronto, in Canada, a bunch of pro-Hamas, that is, folks, Hamas, they're terrorists. Terrorists that literally murder children and women and men and grandmas and grandpas. And they're just the most awful people. They rape women. They kill babies. Hamas, they're terrorists. There are still people in America and Canada and around the world that are supporting that. Well, they don't like Israel. So they say they support Hamas. I'm scratching my head out of genuine confusion. If I didn't like Israel, I don't like them. And if I don't like Hamas, I don't like them. But I don't say, well, I'm gonna support these terrorists because I don't like these terrorists. If I were to believe that the Israelis are terrorists, why would I support other terrorists? You don't. It's like picking evil over evil. Who's the lesser of two evils? I don't like any of evil. Anyways, pro-Hamas protesters, pro-Hamas supporters, terror supporters are terrorizing children in Toronto at a mall. What were these kids doing? Were they beating piñatas of brown people dressed like Palestinians? No. In fact, I don't think they even have piñatas in Canada. Far too far from the Mexican border. So what were these kids doing? Nothing. They were waiting in line to meet Santa, to carry on the American tradition in a type of prayer, if you will, to sit on the Santa's lap and say, this is what I want. And then Santa says, you be a good kid and I'll see what I can do for you. Pushes them down the slide, right? Anyways, they're terrorizing, chanting at and yelling and screaming. Kids are soft and delicate. And we're going to get into what Palestinians and Hamas thinks you should do to children. But we're going to stop right there for now. And I'm going to finish this fucking story. They started chanting, Jesus was Palestinian. Number one, how the fuck do these people know? They can't even read or write. Did they study ancient history, or are they just repeating modern propaganda? Jesus was Palestinian. So these twisted haters, these Hamas lovers want to terrorize kids, folks. This is our world. Don't allow it. Now, don't commit any crimes, but tell these fuckers to back off if you ever see them. Now, up in Canada, in Toronto, why didn't the police or the parents do something to shut these people up and protect their children? It is because government is allowing this attack on our culture, folks, our belief system, things we love. Right now, we know the Grinch, right? The Grinch stole Christmas. The Grinch was bad, right? It's part of our Christmas culture. Why don't? But we're going to allow these people come in and become real Grinches, are we? And by the way, I believe Jesus was a Galilean, was he not? From the Sea of Galilee. Okay, I'm going to stop there with actual history because I'm a little bit too inebriated to get that straight. So, When are you going to step up and say something? I try and say something to someone every day. Contact politicians, make phone calls. I talk to you guys as much as I can to get something done to help fix the problem we have. It is unbelievable what these people are trying to do to our country, folks. I mean, get this. This shocked me. In Wallingford, Swarthmore. Can you imagine living in the town of Wallingford, Swarthmore? I mean, is there like a battle between these two towns? It's Wallingford versus Swarthmore. This school district has banned Christmas decorations on buses, and it has told employees, you will not wear Christmas clothing, any clothing that celebrates Christmas. How hard is it now? Anyone? Well, how hard is it to spot the violations of rights? If Christmas is part of your belief system, then you can wear a shirt that has a little nativity stuff on it, like 3 stars and whatever, right? Telling you can't wear that. Isn't that the same as telling a Muslim they can't wear Muslim clothes? I don't know. I would like to see the violators of people's rights personally held responsible, regardless of whether they're with government or not. Anyways, we've got all kinds of problems, folks. It is Christmas. These people are trying to steal it. They're trying to be Grinches, only it's not a cartoon. Anyways, this is your show. It is Sunday Night Live. We're at 1 hour in. Whew. Super chat donation. It's up there somewhere, that button. It is your chance to call out a topic, a conversation. What do you think is important? Good God. Let's get into this. This is, I think, is going to kind of tie to that. Yeah, we're only 1 hour in, Mr. Human. We're a little more than 1 hour. We are. Get this. There was a poll taken. If you got something you want to talk about, you got to hit that super chat button. Otherwise, I'm going into my stack of shit that has just bothered me all weekend. So they took a poll. They called Americans and they said, are you between the ages of 18 and 24? And the people said yes. And if they said no, they just hung the phone up on them. Anyways, for the young Americans, right? This very young group, just out of high school to finishing college. So the college age group. 51% of them believe Israel should be destroyed and that the land should be given to Hamas. That's right. The poll reveals, folks, 51% of 18 to 24-year-olds believe Israel, the country, should, quote, be ended and given to Hamas. So when I read or hear something like that, I like to ask questions. So these are the questions I have to ask. Folks, imagine if someone said this, America, you need to give the country back. Who are we going to give it back to? That's a good question to ask. Right, see, the Palestinians say that they own Israel. It should be theirs. How do we know that the people living in Gaza are true Palestinians? What if the people who live in Israel, the Jews, what if they have Palestinian DNA, heritage from back in the day? Right? Like a Palestinian got into the woodpile, right? How much should you have DNA? And how far back should it go? It's just a stupid question, right? It's a stupid statement to say we need to take it. But half of Americans in this age group, 18 to 24, agree with the concept. So I asked the question, what do 18 to 24-year-old Americans, what do they know that us older Americans do not know? Right? Oh, Well, they went to school and college. Well, I want to ask the question, how did they learn at college that Hamas should be given a large amount of real estate for free? How did they learn that? Was it a professor, a college professor? What makes that teacher or that professor correct? Can these kids answer that? Well, it's because they're a teacher, a professor. Really? Really? What evidence, student, what evidence, you 18 to 24-year-old, what evidence was presented to you by a professor at a school or college that was so overwhelmingly self-evident that 51% of the students just agree with it? Did they research the information themselves? Did they spend countless hours studying history? Both modern, less than modern. Did they study Jesus to know who owns that country? What evidence did that teacher give, that professor? Now, after hearing all of that, right, it was so overwhelmingly self-evident that the students just said, fuck yeah, teacher's right. Give the country back to the Palestinians. Now, if it was so overwhelmingly self-evident, why did 49% disagree with it? Was it because the professor was wrong, or because they refused the indoctrination, the Joseph Goebbels Disney woke style indoctrination? They refused to support terrorists and terrorism and the idea that just because someone claims they own a country, they should be given it. Yeah, 49% said no, fuck no. Now, if the teacher or professor was correct and accurate in their assessment, right, and they appealed to morality, logic, reason, and facts, then maybe a much higher percentage would agree. But as it stands, the numbers that they've given us seem to reflect several things that bother me when I'm thinking about this now. Right? As it stands, because, well, half just agreed with what a teacher said, I'm just going to, the information I provided was invalid on its face, because I know these students didn't do any research, right? And half the students that are out there are idiots. They're not coming to their own conclusions. They're accepting a political Marxist and more, he's a moral hack job. They're just supporting his opinion and thinking it's correct because they went to college and they're smart. I'm telling you, folks, these kids these days, and here's what's scary about all this, is if these students and Americans, SHTF time, put on your thinking caps, if they're willing to say, well, you know, in Israel, we ought to just give that country over to the Palestinians. Well, it's not American students and young people's, it's not theirs to give. But this country right here, the United States of America, this is not their country to give away either, but they're going to try. They're trying right now, America. This is what fucking kills me. I'm 53 right now. In another 30 years, I'll be 83 or dead. Imagine that, me dying. Fuck. I never thought that was going to even get close to happen. I'm bulletproof, damn it. I've actually been shot. Now, when these people are 30 years older, let's just say they're 20, they'll be 50-ish. And their kids and their children's children, they'll start being grandparents. What percentage are going to believe this shit that you can just give a country over to a group that believes they are owed it? It's fucking crazy. Anyways, let's move on if we shall. Don't listen to people under 24 and over 18. Holy bat shit. Oh my goodness. Super chat donation coming from Chin Music, $99.99. I tell you, man, I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. Another Glenn Levitt. No, I'm sorry, Glenn Fiddick. Glenfiddich. 18-year single malt Scotch whiskey. Christmas has come early. Here's to you, Chin Music. Godspeed, Semper Fi. You're an all-American. You're all Americans. And we need to stand up to these youthful idiots, I tell you. Okay. Focus. John, forgot I'm traveling later this week. Might miss next week. Inspired by Darcy T to send this to Luke to get some fun stuff for your grandson. Semper Fi to my favorite Viking. Woo! I tell you what, I will. I will take care of Mr. Luke. Thank you. As well as his lady and his son, my grandson, little Clayton. He is a handsome little shit too. Thank you very much, Chin Music. I'm honored and thankful and shocked and everything else. Darcy T, all of you are great people. You're all great Americans. You all believe in freedom and liberty and the Constitution. You believe in the notion and concept of Santa Claus and the goodness of the Christmas spirit to keep us warm and happy and to look forward to good times in America and to celebrate the end of a year that was good in America. But now we've got Democrats and Joe Biden and all these fruitcakes trying to fuck everything up. But we will win. And man, I can feel my fucking like a hot flash, man. I can feel that. It's like a hot flash. Woo! Okay, man. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm 24 again. Okay, anyways, let us continue. Thank you, Chin Music. We'll just leave him up there. What a great super chat donation. Chin Music, thank you, sir. Now, in Canada, we need to, folks in America, we need to protect our kids. And us older folks need to protect our grandkids. They need this all around the world. They need to be protected. Get Canada again. And I love Canada. I love Canadians, folks. I do not love liberals wherever they're at, though. I think they all suck. But in Canada, the court up there, it is ruled that calling drag queens groomers does not fall under protected speech. No. You cannot call them groomers. That's not free speech in Canada. Folks, Canada needs to unfuck itself before I care what their judges say. Now, I'm going to say this. I'll make this statement. This is the Christmas season. This is a holiday that Western civilization spends. The word holiday is the secularized expression of the term holy days. Show me a moral drag queen, and I'll say that person is not a groomer. But in every instance I have seen, when confronted about children and confronted about morality and raising children, these perverted freaks, whether they're just LGBTQIA plus types or these drag queens, which are part of that LGBTQIA plus gang group, they keep adding all kinds of garbage and perversion, trying to make it big enough where we go, oh yeah, that represents a significant portion of the population. The fuck it does, right? In every instance I have seen, these freaks always respond with sexualized, grotesque comments about children and what they want to do with them. And they even admit to being pedophiles in a sarcastic manner. They now get elected to office on school boards and literally put their hands on perverted pedophilia and pornography and swear in on that. It's unfucking believable. And I hope, Chin Music, I guess I'm a little bigger than you are, but you're a Viking nonetheless. And the Viking spirit, right? I don't want to bring up the bloodthirsty, terrible Viking spirit, but the fighting Viking spirit. Did you know that Friday is named after Frida, a Viking, and the concept of freedom? The concept of freedom is a Viking concept, by the way. The Vikings have heavily influenced Western civilization, including the Christmas tree, Santa Claus, who came from the North Pole, who flew on his magical sleigh, aka spaceship, right down, down, and right. So much of Christmas is Viking, or shall we say Scandinavian lore, coupled and married with Christianity and Catholicism. And it's funny how we could get along with each other. Now, I know the Protestants and Catholics have had their differences, and they fought from time to time. A couple of people had some thumb screws put to them. A few people were burned at the stake, and yeah, we've had some rough times. But for the last, I don't know, 150, 200 years, we've done pretty well. But these fruitcake freaks, folks, they don't want that, right? They openly admit to being scumbags. They're even doing it right here at Christmas. You bet. You bet, folks. At Christmas time, in Orlando, Florida, of all places, and I'm pretty disgusted at Florida for not arresting these people on the spot, children were observed attending a drag show in Orlando, where, folks, drag queens, groomers, they were sexually performing in front of children. And what was the song? The song was called Screwdolph. Even where it's expressly prohibited by law in Florida, groomer drag queens performed their disgusting acts in front of children, sexualizing what should be innocent children's stories of morality, goodness, promoting good behavior. And what are these drag queens doing? They're performing in front of children with their perversion. It's unbelievable, folks. Protect your grandson, protect your granddaughter, protect your children, protect everybody. There's just the fact that Canada decided they were going to say groomers is not part of free speech. I find that just shocking, right? To say that calling them groomers isn't protected speech. The hell it isn't. The hell it isn't. It's unbelievable. Shall we continue? Thank you, Mr. Chin Music. Thank you. Any $50 or more super chat donation buys a shot of scotch. Holy cow. Just in 2 weeks, we've taken and put the hurt on that bottle. Woo! Okay, now, I tell you, trying to keep it together here. We're going to leave the fruitcakes alone for a little bit. We're going to get back to them, though. We truly are. No, fuck it. I'm going to drive this nail into the piece of wood so hard it cannot be pulled. I don't want to hear that, well, most of them are good people. It's just the really bad ones. No, it's not. No. Do you remember that gay couple that last year was arrested because of the filthy, disgusting sex scandal they had, folks, involving their adopted children, their sons? They're having an estate sale. They're selling everything off. They ought to just fucking burn it to the ground. This is evidence, folks, of why the LGBTQIA plus is not normal. And drag queens aren't groomers either, right, sickos? Once again, the normal, or rather just gay people, that's one thing. But I keep seeing and keep finding stories reminding us of how sick these fuckers are and how they want to take innocence from our children. They want to destroy our culture. They want to take Christmas from us. By the way, next week before Christmas, I will be reading the night before Christmas that I do every year. And it's something that I really enjoy doing. And then I will have some fun with a satirical, sardonic, screwball, goofy book that Jolene got me, of all people. Anyways, you don't have to do a super chat donation of $50 or more. Those just buy the scotch shots. Not too many, please. But any amount that you donate goes into the Get the Fuck Back and Stay Back. Is that the right one? Fund, which is basically make sure that we keep the lights on and tuna and Spam in the pantry, and make sure that I have enough ammunition to defend as many people as I can. Oh, folks, I can tell you, in a lot of ways, I can't wait for the day when I get to sit in judgment of those who are evil, and they know who they are. There's going to be a lot of Americans. I'm not threatening anyone. I'm not promoting violence or hatred or anything. I'm just saying there needs to be an accounting. If I were to commit crimes, folks, against children, if I were to commit crimes against society, if I were to commit crimes against individual people or against corporations, the United States government, state governments, local governments would not waste a fucking second on their way to arrest me and hold me accountable, would they not? Yet here we have school boards, we have school administration, we have school teachers grooming children, introducing them through homosexual propaganda, pedophile pornography. We have in our military a destruction of the military, chasing away good people, inviting in fruitcakes and telling them, hey, we'll cut off your genitals for you. All you have to do is, in the event of war, run away. They're destroying Washington, D.C. We'll talk more about that in the days to come. They're destroying the educational system. They're destroying our southern border protection, everything. Shit has hit the fan. Are you prepared? I sure hope you are. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. And there's going to come a time when we, you and I, need to hold the bad guys accountable for what they have done. Mr. Uman, have we got a super chat donation that we're going to deal with? What do we got now? We got David with a 2230. That's like 223, which is 556. Anyways, a 2230 super chat donation. Thank you, David G. He says, Merry Christmas. And New York Reconciliation Monument is being removed from Arlington. I guess they are not interested in reconciliation with the South. To hell with them, blood and soil. The Reconciliation Monument, folks. I don't know very much about it because I am not a New Yorker. But what limited amount I do know is that it was a way to heal the differences and try and make America whole, a way to attempt to unite everybody. And America, for as much as possible, has been united. There has and always will be, right, an understanding of what happened prior to the Civil War that caused the Civil War. History revisionists will lie. Democrats and politicians love to lie. But we'll understand that it was more than just slavery that was the issue. It was money and control. But the effort was made after the Civil War to try and heal the wounds. The South was decimated and became, was thought of as poor, right? While the industrialized North that wasn't as damaged as the South, the industrialized North became more prosperous and wealthy and powerful, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. But still, folks, you need agriculture, you need food, you need everything that the South has to make this country great. And all through my life, I understood the South, and people who said the South will rise again. I never thought I'd be part of the South rising again. I thought as a Californian, I was exempt from the fight between the Yankees up north and the Southerners, the Confederates down south. But now I understand. And as I went through my 20s, I understood more and more. And now I'm part of the South that says give me liberty or give me death. Something they used to say up in the North. I want America to be one country, one people, one real culture, a culture that has its roots and its faith in freedom and liberty, as described in our history, as described in our law, in our Bill of Rights, etc. But what do we have? They're tearing down monuments to the South. They're tearing down monuments to reconciliation, unity. They're starting segregation between races, and we're going to have segregation between political states. We're on our way back to the Civil War, but it's going to be more than just a civil war between armies. It is going to be a partisan conflict between individual people throughout regions. Now, in the Balkans, which are mountainous areas in more Eastern or Central Eastern Europe, I don't know if you remember this. It was all in former Yugoslavia, the Balkan range. People there was a fight, a civil war going on. There was claims of genocide. President Clinton was trying to act magnanimous and big. But what we learned was if you were a Christian on this side and the Christians are over here, you could trade your property with a Muslim on the other side and you could move, you could migrate. They segregated themselves. Some people were civil about it, others were less civil. Slobodan Milosevic was being yelled at, was being called a racist and a genocide committer, a war criminal, etc. I can see that happening here in this country, folks. People telling everyone in a town, okay, Democrats, get the fuck out. You've got 3 months, you've got 6 months to get the fuck out of here. And up north in blue cities, they'll say, Republicans, you got 6 months to get the fuck out. Start making some phone calls. Figure out how to do this as legally as possible, but get the fuck out. I can see that coming. And if you stay behind, you're going to be engaging in some serious shit. David, thank you very much for bringing this point up. It's very important indeed. Now, wow. Pardon me. Let me gather my gather my thoughts. That's a lot of scotch tonight, folks. But it is Christmas. It has warmed my tummy. It's warmed my heart, knowing that you guys care and I care about you. And we're going to keep doing this every day. What I mean is the Prepared Mind channel. Continue to do it every day. Now, when it comes to this country, you and I, preppers, patriots, veterans, true Americans, red-blooded Americans that love baseball, apple pie, and that's baseball without the woke shit, and it's apple pie without preservatives. Everything that's American, right? We're going to have to deal with radical Democrats, radical LGB types. We have to deal with radical bureaucracy, radical government, and yes, radical religion as well. Now, up in Michigan, there is an imam, which is a very important, Muslim cleric type, right? Like a priest, an imam. He is saying that Muslims need to wage jihad in the United States. So I want to say to all you imams out there, Merry Christmas to you. Try it. Now, who is calling for this? Well, the man's name is Ahmad Musa Jibril. I have it written down right there on the computer so I can remember it, because otherwise there's no fucking way I'd remember this guy. Anyways, he is a Muslim preacher in Michigan. And he says American Muslims need to wage holy war against the infidel West. Us, America. And he said that Muslims in the United States of America should normalize jihad. Normalize jihad. Did you know that? They're calling for that, folks. This radical terrorist supporting jihad is using terror and war to kill people that they don't think believe in their form of truth, right? He says Joe Biden's a terrorist, by the way, because of the Washington, D.C. policy in support of Israel. Because of that, Joe Biden's a terrorist. So all you Democrats out there, you are the number one target, but we all are, folks. This asshole, Jibril, this goat fucker, Jibril, has suggested that following October 7th attack on Israel, Hamas terrorists, right, on Israeli civilians, remember that, right? All those bad things that just happened. He says in America, young Muslims should understand the infidel West are the enemy of all Muslims, and they need to start killing us. He urged Muslim mothers to, quote, nurse their infants with the love of jihad and the ambition to become a mujahid and a martyr. So American Muslim women need to start raising their kids to be terrorists and telling them it's good to die for your religion. So start killing people. Why? Why isn't this fucking guy not arrested yet? Anyone? Bueller. Why isn't this guy arrested, folks? It's our holy time. In fact, isn't it Ramadan? Isn't that the Muslim holiday, holy days of the winter? This is what we have to worry about. This is where we're at. Folks, we're 90 minutes into Sunday Night Live. We've got one more week of work. And then we have our weekend. We have Saturday. We have Sunday is Christmas Eve. And then Monday is Christmas of next week. I don't know if I'm going to do a Sunday Night Live. That's Christmas Eve. I can't do that. Maybe I'll do a Saturday Night Live next week. I wonder if that other Saturday Night Live will be on. I should probably do it on Saturday. Oh, man, what do you think? Saturday, thumbs up? 2 thumbs up from man, or that's 2 middle fingers. I can't see. It's a very small picture. But I think it's probably thumbs up. Okay, anyways. 3, 2, 1. Mr. Uman, you are on live on the Prepared Mind channel. Welcome.
Hey. Sorry, we're just like in the middle of another one of these stupid heated religious discussions where Mr. Overreach feels that because people don't believe as he do, that we're a bunch of heathens and satanic bastards. So
Who's a satanic bastard?
I am, apparently, because I don't believe.
You are on silent for some reason. Oh, no, wait. Maybe my thing's on silent. Okay, there. So try that again, man.
We try to keep it non-religious and keep the stuff out of the chat because that's not what we're here to talk about. But then somebody's always got to come in and start telling everybody that if they don't believe as they do, that they're a bunch of satanic bastards.
Well, spirituality and religion and philosophy, it's very personal to all of us. You, Mr. Uman, me, everyone. I think we should be able to talk about it generally without condemning people for their religious beliefs. I don't say that Muslims need to go burn in hell and have Satan pitchfork them to death, for eternity. There's no point in that.
It's the zealots and the radicals in every group, including the Christians, that are the ones that are the freaking problem. I mean, my business partner is a Muslim. He's one of the best guys I've ever met in my life. He's about as Muslim as I am Catholic.
Right.
And there's the tenets of the Bible are great. But you know what? If you read that as the word of God, you're a freaking moron because it's been revised more than 450 times, interpreted how many thousands of times. And after thousands of years, nobody can agree on what it really says.
Right.
And sorry.
The rewrites have been by men. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's getting me all heated again, but we go through this so often. It is so ridiculous. It's like, you know what? I am not without faith, But I am completely irreligious. Any religious organization is just as bad, if not worse, than the government, and probably has accounted for more deaths in the history of mankind than anything else.
Oh yeah, yeah. Your foundational belief systems. It's funny. It's terrible that people, they want to think, but it's also. I mean, my thoughts are not clear on this. I've had a little bit of the good stuff.
I haven't been keeping up with shots, but I've been keeping up with a little bit of beer, and I'm a little heated right now, so you'll have to forgive me.
This is what comes to mind. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Any Christian that wants to judge someone else on their Christianity and their faith, well, then they'll be judged even more harshly because they claim to know everything about God.
Yeah.
So, how much more severely should they be judged if they know everything? And so, enough on that, right?
My response to that every time is, well, that's not very Christian of you.
No, it's not. It truly isn't. For people that are very judgmental and pious, I can't stand piety. It makes me sick to my stomach because it's just riddled with hypocrisy. And that's really what I do not like about these radical jihadis, is they claim to know everything and that they're going to judge everyone. But folks, they're incredibly dangerous. I bet every one of these Christian radicals here that is judging us or judging someone else, I bet they are also cowards.
Yep.
I bet they're cowards.
Cowards and incompetents, because anybody that believes that some magical being from the sky is going to save their butts if things go bad is a fool. My God gave me the knowledge, the wisdom, and the ability to take care of myself and my own. You were talking about the story the other day, with the guy in the flood trapped on his roof, and they sent the sheriff, the boat, and the helicopter, and then he goes to heaven and asks God, "Why didn't
you save me?"
Yeah, I sent you a cop, I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter. Yeah. It's the same kind of thing. Nobody's coming to save us. We got to be prepared to take care of and save ourselves.
That's correct.
That is the blessing and the gift that was given to us by our God, however you want to rationalize or explain that or conceptualize that.
Right. And that's the important thing. Yeah, have your faith. Get prepared. There's people that think they're going to be whisked away to heaven, that they're not going to have to suffer at all. There's other Christians that believe you have to go through it all. Whatever.
Yeah.
Being prepared does not disqualify you as a Christian. Being prepared is a way to help yourself and others, which I think is a more Christian value than saying, screw everyone else, I'm only looking out for me.
Exactly. I'm more than happy to help out anybody that I come across that wants to be helped and is willing to work to save themselves.
Yeah.
But if you're one of these, oh, my God has forsaken me and I need a handout, you go screw yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to do anything to better your own position, I have no sympathy for you. I'm sorry.
You're a special kind of Santa, man.
Yeah, ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. I tell you, well, it's a crazy world, man. And it's Christmas time. And I can't think that condemning others who are trying to be good is a good thing. But I will condemn all these evil fuckers out here because it's obvious what they're doing, right? An example of that is in New York City. There's a woman was walking along a sidewalk at night and walked by a kosher restaurant. And she ended up going off and screaming and yelling and went inside and ended up turning over tables and throwing soup on people, kosher soup at that. I don't support hate speech and hate crime laws. But, being an asshole is one thing and destruction and assaulting people is another.
Yep.
I like that we have free speech and we can tell each other we do or don't agree with each other, or I do or don't agree with your religion and your religious beliefs. If I have a conversation with someone who wants to condemn me, I just say, great, you've done your piece, now move along, fuck off, and we'll part our ways. And then if you like somebody in their position, you can spend time talking to them. They can become friends, et cetera, and you're good. But these wacko violent bastards out here, oh man, you know, I see Jews and I want to attack them. I don't say go out and attack Muslims. I don't say that.
No.
These radical fuckers, when they expose themselves as supporting terrorism and therefore they're terrorists, right? There's going to be trouble in this country.
Yeah,
especially if they just start making it public.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't mean you go after people you suspect are Muslim. It means when you find a bad guy, you're going to have to do something about it. I don't know how bad it's going to get. I have no clue. I just know it ain't good.
No, and you know, it's like I don't care what anybody wants to believe or whatever, but you know, as soon as you start shoving it down somebody else's throat, that's where I draw a line and have a problem.
Yeah.
And then if your only defensive is you have no argument to support your beliefs or faith, you have no proof, no nothing, and your only response is that oh, you're satanic, or you start calling names and everything else. I'm sorry, but you know what? I got no use for you.
Yeah. Well, there needs to be something done about it at one point. And these radical jihadis, not only will they tell you that you're wrong, but they'll say that, you know, blood's on your hands and we need to kill you. They're gonna. I think our country is being radicalized.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's being completely radicalized.
Everybody, we've talked about this before. It's all about you're either 100% with us or you're 100% against us.
Yeah.
You know, there is no in between. You can no longer just say, okay, look, if you want to believe what you want, that's fine. Yeah. I'm going to believe what I want. We agree to disagree, move along.
Yeah.
But everything has gotten so polarized that there can no longer be a middle ground. And whether that's a function of politics or religion or combination of all of that, it's just a sign of where they're trying to take us.
Right. Yeah. There's someone pushing this agenda, if you will. All right. Coolness, man. Well, Merry Christmas there, Santa.
Merry Christmas. And you ready for another drink?
Oh, no. Yes, you bet I am. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ooman. Oh, no. We're in trouble.
Is that two that I've met? Oh, you might be needing to line up a couple of those.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, let's get to it. Oh, my goodness. It is Blue Cord Devil. How have you been, amigo, brother, etc.? $50 super chat donation. Blue Cord Devil heavily medicating the John on this week before Christmas Eve. It's Christmas week Eve. Good golly, putting a hurt on the Glenfiddich 18. Here we go. Telling you, folks, I can take a lot because I weigh 280 pounds, but I don't know how much more I can take. Woo. Whoa. And it just keeps getting better and better. Woo! Blue Cord Devil, Merry Christmas to you, brother. And he says, been a while, still working stuff out with the wife's estate. Just stopping by to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all here at the Prepared Mind family. Hope to be back regularly next year. Peace and prayers, John, Jolene, Ooman, and everyone else. Watch your six. And I tell you what, Blue Cord Devil, that is just it. Have love in your heart, peace in your mind, but don't ever let down your guard. Not when we have so many people promising us hard times, right? You can insult me all you want. You can make fun of me all you want. But when you start threatening me and I see evidence that those threats are real, we're in trouble, folks. And that's what I see going on with America. The threats against us, our kids, our country, our faith are real. And Blue Cord Devil, it's good to hear that you're still out there. And yes, take care of the wife's estate. Get your affairs in order, and we'll see you after the new year. Woo! I tell you, keeping those joints lubricated. I tell you. And that was a message from Luke, my son Luke. Oh, he's a funny kid. I love that guy. My son Luke is one hell of a man. Oh, and he's back. He's sending a picture message. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, my goodness. My kid, he knows that I'm doing this show every Sunday. And he just said that his son, my grandson, was watching Muppets. I think Muppets are a good thing, or at least they were. The Muppet Show when I grew up. Nothing bad about that. I mean, you could see all kinds of things on there, like Gonzo the Great tap dancing on a vat of oatmeal. And, of course, the Swedish Chef. Anyways, Blue Cord Devil, Merry Christmas. Thank you to you. And a Merry Christmas to everyone. A Happy New Year to everyone. And let's make America the America we love. The America we know. We need to bring it back. Thank you. Super chat donations go right up here. Or Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal down below. Your contributions do great. Holy cow. Diorce is back. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I tell you what, Diorce, I'm going to read your comments, and then we're going to have a drink. I need to get a little time between those Merry Christmas salutations that everyone is sending. And it's not just salutations, it's libations, to use an old term, an old expression to describe fine beverages. So Dior says, this is one of the reasons why I left the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Too many were way too judgmental of other Mormons in the church. They acted as though they could be a better Mormon. Fine, you guys can keep your hypocrisy beliefs. That's some funny shit, Diorce. I tell you what, when I was a jarhead Marine going through boot camp, there were literal platoons full of Mormon Marines. Let me get my tongue right here. There we go. Yeah, Mormon after Mormon after Mormon after Mormon. I was the squad leader, second squad. First squad leader was, last name was Anderton. Hell of a nice guy. I love Mormons, folks. Whenever they find my front door, I usually have some fun conversations with them. Nice people. I don't believe as they believe. They will not convert me, but I'll be nice to them because that's what you're supposed to be as a human and an American. You're supposed to be decent. But I will not put myself in the position to be robbed blind by a church, to be lied to by someone pretending to understand all of God's words and wisdom. And I will not allow myself to be made to feel bad because I'm not as good as others. I've met far too many people in churches who are hypocrites, liars, cheaters, and thieves. I think the only ones who are better at those things than they are politicians and lawyers. Anyways, thank you, Diorce. And now here we go. Folks, it is the Christmas season. And I don't want you to think I celebrate by becoming inebriated. But this is your guys' way of supporting the show, having some good laughs, and rewarding me, I guess, for all that I do here. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, Diorce. Thank you, Blue Cord Devil. Thank you, everybody. It is our holiday season. This is America. And this is a fine scotch that federal tax has been paid on to get it back in the country. Let me properly place this where it does the best work. Semper Fi, God bless America. I may fall out of this chair. Anyways, even in a state of, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to be paying for that one. I want to talk about something very important, folks. Down in Argentina, they just elected a new president. His name is Javier Milei. I can never pronounce his name right. But he is not joking around. He's not playing games. The mainstream media hates this guy. He's got a chainsaw, and he said he was going to trim government. He was going to chainsaw government and eliminate waste. He has gotten rid of, folks. He's not joking around. He's not playing fucking games down there. The president of Argentina has cut the Ministry of Culture. And he's got rid of the Ministry of Culture and 8 other government bureaucracies. He is cutting government spending. He's cutting government spending. He's cutting government agencies. And he's also, interestingly, he's also raising taxes. And he's extremely popular for what he's doing. Basically, he says he is going to make Argentina functional and have zero debt by the end of 2024 by doing all these government cuts and taking in extra tax money. Now, this is interesting. I would have never thought that he would raise taxes as well as get rid of government agencies. I find it fascinating. So also, hey, pay attention, Mr. Trump. They need to remove the LGFBI. Trump needs to get rid of the Alphabet Brotherhood, all of them, right? The CIA, the FBI, the IRS. He needs to get rid of the ATF, the DHS, all of them. Across the board. He needs to drain all the fruity, swampy fruitcakes. He needs to get rid of all of these people. They're not doing us any good. They're just costing us money. I don't think America is going to be able to handle a tax increase. We're already paying a massive tax increase in the form of inflation. I don't want to be an alarmist, but again, I want you guys to be prepared, right? All the things we need out there. Understand things can get real bad real quick. Over the weekend, I listened to quite a few economists talking about what's coming. And they said, we've got hard times coming. Harder than any of us can imagine if bad things happen. Please get prepared and have a few months of food on hand. Like our good friends on here who have said, hey, right, have heaters, have a way to make sure you can keep your house warm, whether it's wood or coal. I'm not afraid of your carbon, or natural gas or propane. Have a way to make sure you get it that's independent of the system. I don't think people really have LNG. They just mostly have propane. But get what you need to protect yourself from the screw-ups of others. Now, Argentina, folks, right now, while they're cutting all these bureaucracies, while they're cutting and raising taxes, it's down there. It's summer. So it's the hot time of the year. It's the productive time of the year. So they're willing to take all these chances and take all these risks and get it all done while it's the nice season. For us, it's the cold season. Thursday is going to be the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, where the sun dies. It's gone for 3 days as far as an increase or decrease in the length of time it's here. And then Christmas, it comes back. It's reborn. That's how they combined the whole Christmas thing with Catholicism, folks. Anyways, enough of that. I'm digressing because my brain is a little bit affected. But anyways, folks, get ready. We're going to have big changes, and it's going to be up to us to steer this country. We know where the left is trying to steer it, down the wrong road. We've got a hell of a fight in front of us. Mr. Who-Man, where are we at? We're at 1 hour and 55 minutes. If you guys have any other things you want to talk about, bring it up now. Forever hold your peace. Get this, folks. An aide to a Democrat senator is under investigation for filming a gay sex tape in the Senate building. Unbelievable. You should face criminal charges, right? It's okay to bang someone in the butt and film a porn in Senate, but don't you dare go in and just march peacefully through Congress. What the fuck? Anyways, the massive amount of gay porn coming from DC shows what a sick city it is. And folks, the gays run DC. They own that town. They own that town. Remember Republican Representative Madison Cawthorn? This gay sex scandal came up, right? And he was basically run out of town by Kevin McCarthy, Republican, because he said he was going to expose all of the orgies and all the sick shit that goes on. And you know what his response was? I told you. I'm sure it's much worse than anyone knows, folks. It always is. When a piece of fruit rots, you see a little piece of the outside rotted. It's rotted all the way to the core already by time, right? This Senate staffer was in a Senate hearing room, right? Pictures of it's disgusting, folks. It's disgusting filth. There's a problem with Washington. There's a problem with the Senate and Congress. There's a problem with the bureaucracies. There's a problem, and it's huge, folks. It is. And it's more than just these sexual perversions. It's their racism. Now, an internal document has been exposed and released from IBM. IBM is International Business Machine. IBM has the PC that Bill Gates puts his software on. Windows, right? That's IBM. But IBM has a document that's been released. It says white people are bad. And I mean, here's what it says, quote, only white people can be racist. What do I say about IBM? If their CEO or their head president, whoever the fuck wrote this shit, use your wallet to say no to them. Write an email telling them, IBM, that he doesn't need our white money. He doesn't need black money. He doesn't need anyone's money. Because apparently, they don't need us. They just don't need us. And I think I'm going to end on this, unless there's more super chats out there and I'm already here and this is where I'm at. You guys have anything? You don't have to do $50 or more. Just whatever your super chat is to get your comments on the screen will make you famous. But something came out, and Tucker Carlson made some comments about UFOs and the truth and something that's going on out there. He says it's really dark. And this is a quote. There's a spiritual component there I don't fully understand. On this channel, on the Prepared Mind with you guys, it's never easy to fully understand anything. The truth isn't always easy. In fact, truth is hardly ever easy, nor is it nice. We're discovering these freaks and fruitcakes in DC These freaks and fruitcakes throughout the country, in the schools, the colleges, the military, they're not good people and they're not nice people. Now, when it comes to UFOs, they're really making this part of the everyday conversation in America. They're going to use it to try and control us. Now, Tucker Carlson suggested, and this comes from the Gateway Pundit, this article, he suggested that if you talk with people with real knowledge on the subject of UFOs, that parts of it are so dark that Tucker has heard that he will not share it. He won't talk about it with his wife. He says there's a spiritual component to the issue that he does not understand, and he is now wishing he did not know about this. Folks, the real world is scary. A lot of people don't want to be preppers because of what it entails and what would cause it to be needed and used. There's a lot of people that are afraid to be patriotic because it means they have to stand up. I say, study what is going on in the world. It's important to study what's happening so you're informed and you can make more intelligent decisions for yourself, your family, your country, etc. The real world is scary, folks. But when it comes to things like aliens and demons, hold on to that thought, please. Evil and even Satan, folks. Aliens, demons, Satan, just evil. They're there as concepts, and they're there as real. They're real. It's not just a concept. Evil is a concept. It's evil as reality that comes to these beings. Now, when you learn something about aliens or spirits, devils, whatever, you hear it from a credible source, it's very alarming. Now, naturally, we want to protect children from scary things, but adults should act like adults. We should accept our responsibility, share and teach about evil in the world so people don't think it's just a myth, because evil is real. And that's a big part of this channel, is I want Americans, to be adults, to be grown up, to accept that evil's out there, to face it, to get prepared, to armor yourself, right, with the word of righteousness, goodness. That's all it is goodness. Armor yourself with goodness. Now, aliens, demons, Satan, and Dior's with a 556 super chat donation wants to talk about my experience with Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Okay, you've got me. I have not had one experience with Bigfoot. I have had multiple experiences with Bigfoot, starting in the my sophomore summer vacation. So that would have been 1986, August. I had a run-in with Bigfoot. Real. The next summer, relatively far away, instead of down at 2,500 foot elevation, it was up at Bear River Reservoir off of Highway 88 in Amador County. Ran into another situation where Bigfoot made an appearance. Multiple times, folks. Bigfoot is real. I did some Bigfoot videos. If we had Jolene here, she could put the links up. But I've done a complete Bigfoot discussion on this first encounter. It terrorized the shit out of me and a friend. My friend basically lost his mind afterwards. I don't know if he's recovered or if he's buried the idea, but it's real. Now, here's the deal: is and I know this is odd. I don't know if I've talked about this with Uman yet. The spiritual component behind Bigfoot is once they come in contact with you, there's some kind of thing that they notice, I guess, because I've run into them in Amador County and then up in Lassen County, extreme Northern California, in a couple instances. And that's when my sons were around. And my son Lucas, I believe, has had Bigfoot encounters. Now, other people spend their entire lives looking for Bigfoot and they can't find them. I myself was not looking for them when I ran across them. But I've been thinking about this lately because I do listen to some of these Bigfoot stories. And I've spent hours and days hiking in the woods, motorcycling or trail biking in the woods. And this is really, I'm trying not to freak myself out. There's been times when I'm walking along and you hear the birds singing and animals in the forest, and it's almost like a Disney cartoon, right? And then it goes pitch silent. There's no sound, no breeze, no wind, no rattling of leaves, no birds, no squirrels, no chirping, no sound at all. The forest just goes completely fucking dead. And the missing 411 stories all have a lot of those components in it where all of a sudden it's quiet and someone disappears, or they feel that they're being watched by Bigfoot or something. Corsair, the answer is no. I would rather deal with what you suggest I'm talking about than the actual Bigfoot. Now, Bigfoot is a real thing. It's a real animal, or it's a real being. And I'm not crazy, and I'm as inebriated as I am. I'm not crazy, and I'm not making this shit up. My belief is based on my experience and my research into this subject. Now, the missing 411 guy, David Politis, he's actually done Bigfoot research, and he was into Bigfoot when he got kind of tied into the missing people in the parks and all of this. It's there's a few times I was in the woods or the forest and I was scared because things got quiet. And there's a lot of times where you feel like you're being watched or escorted. But never at those times did anything ever make itself known. It wasn't until this Bigfoot encounter that I dealt with when I was 16. And then again in the later years where you realize that it's a real thing. Now, are they good? Well, in my experience, they are neutral to malevolent. Neutral meaning they couldn't give a shit about you, but they're there. But there are a lot of stories of them being malevolent. And, are they responsible for bad things happening? I don't know. All I can do is tell you what I know based on my understanding. They're real. And I've seen UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Does that mean they're from outer space? I just couldn't identify the craft, right? There's no model number on a round silver sphere flying at 2,000 miles an hour across the sky. It's just a guess based on its elevation and how quickly it traversed the sky. A jet plane, right, with people in it, it takes a good solid minute to get across the sky at 500 miles an hour. If I see a little silver ball making that same trip and it does it in about 5 to 10 seconds, that means it's really moving fast. Now, it's a wild and crazy world, folks. It doesn't hurt to have a little faith in something bigger than us to comfort us and let us know, right? Christmas is a great time of year. Latch on to what you know and love, your faith, your belief in America, in the goodness of humanity. Put yourself in contact with good people. Get prepared for hard times that are coming, because they are. Not because I want them to, but because that is what my mind has shown me. Because I've been here with you every single day, talking about it, observing it, watching it come. Sasquatch, Dior. Thanks for bringing that up, man. I don't know if Sasquatch is evil. He's tied to aliens. He's tied to all kinds of different belief systems. What I know is it's a real thing, and it likes to throw rocks, and it likes to make a lot of noise. Anyways, for now, I'm gonna teetotal off to my rack. I'm going to go brush my teeth, use the head, and hit the hay. And I've got a big week coming up. You all do. We'll be back here 0 dark 30. And then again for our usual Monday through Friday afternoon discussion about what the heck is going on and how we need to be prepared for it. Because chance favors the prepared mind. And I will have some aspirin prepared for tomorrow morning. I want to thank you all for the great support, for providing us with great entertainment, ideas, concept, things to talk about, and for helping me spread the word. I never told everyone thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up for this video. And also share the internet address for this video. It's free for everyone. It's the premium subscribers at thepreparedmind.club that get to be live Monday through Friday. But Sunday, you guys are here with me live. God bless. I love you all. Merry Christmas and Semper Fi.